All right, welcome back, guys. This is the Bleacher Report Rams post game. I'm Jake Ellenbogen, your host, and wow, tough game, tough loss to lose 24-17 at your own house. Obviously, that's tough. To lose to a team, I think you had a lot of opportunities to take down is even tougher, and to lose this game the way it went down, how you were able to pretty much outgain them, pretty much you just looked like the better team. And, unfortunately, you shot yourselves in the foot. That's just the way it goes in this one. So, that's unfortunately we're talking about a loss here. Rams fall to 3-4. A huge missed opportunity here. Very unfortunate. Rams head to Dallas next week to take on the Cowboys. And right now, I think before we get into the winners and losers of this game, at any point, just so you guys know, if you guys like this at any point, be sure to follow me on socials at JK Bogan. I'm also on YouTube. But look, we got to talk about the elephant in the room here. There's too much talent on this team to only be putting up 17 points. I don't think the Steelers did anything crazy. I don't think the pass rush was overwhelming. There was only 2 sacks on Matthew Stafford. The Stafford interception was awful. But I feel like they had it going on that last drive when unfortunately they had to punt it. They had it go on the last drive, where they're able to run it with Royce Freeman. They pick up the first down, and then all of a sudden it's just, this is the Rams now. I don't know what it is, but when you have the run game working and the short passing game working, and then you go and you are like, you know what, let's go down the field. Let's test down the field. You do it once, okay. You do it twice, okay. Why are you predominantly going down the field at that point? I think we're going to hear it in the presser. We had a lot of looks and we just didn't execute. And it's the same thing, but in reality, I just think at the end of the day, there's way too much talent on this team. There's way too much talent on this team. This offense should be way better than it is. And quite honestly, it's not that far from what last year's offense did with an abysmal offensive line down to the 3rd and 4th string contributors and guys like Baker Mayfield starting at quarterback, who you picked up off of, the off the waivers and started him 48 hours later. Look, I'm upset, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are upset as well. I do have to give credit where credit's due. The Steelers made the plays at the end. They hung in there. They were able to hang around and steal this one. But this should have been a Rams win. 100% should have been a Rams win. And I think when you look at it, we'll start with the winners of this game because, let's try to, at least have some good to look at. Let's start with the winners. I'm going to go with Royce Freeman and Darrell Henderson. Royce Freeman goes for 12 carries, 66 yards, 5.5 yards per carry average. I thought he did a really nice job today in his first action of the NFL season. And then Darrell Henderson to come right off of the street and have 18 carries for 61 yards and a touchdown. That's the yards per carry don't tell the full story. I thought both guys ran extremely well. They definitely, should have stuck by the run a little bit more. I know that's kind of crazy to say when you run it 30 times. I thought they should have run it more. I don't think the Steelers showed consistently that they can stop the run. And I think the Rams kind of played in their hands and they were going downfield. And, the Steelers play a lot of aggressive defense. You look at, the way, Joey Porter Jr. was playing very, very grabby. And if it doesn't get called, it doesn't get called. But it's on you to not adjust to that. And so, I look back at a certain, 3rd and short when Kupp decides to, or rather Stafford decides to go to Nakua on that 3rd and short quick hit, the slant. And that was a chance to really put them away, the Steelers, if you will. They needed to take advantage. The defense was tired. You had to take advantage of that moment. You have to run the football. They go with the quick hitter. They miss out. Actually, they had Darrell Henderson on a wheel. I don't think Stafford's dumping it off enough. I think they're trying to go down the field more than they need to. They're shooting themselves on the foot. They had 2 drops by Cooper Kupp earlier in the game. There's a drop by Nakua. So obviously that, but let's go back to it anyway. The winners, Freeman and Henderson, I like that. Another winner here is Puka Nakua. Anytime you go for 8 catches for 154 yards as a rookie, it's a win. It's a good day for you at the office. Another winner was Tutu Atwell, getting in the end zone for a touchdown, really saving them in that first half. It was a great way to end the first half. Unfortunately, they came out and even though the defense didn't give up a touchdown to start to go into halftime, the Rams gave it up on the offensive side with Stafford's interception. As far as the winners on the defensive end, I thought you saw some great things out of Michael Hoyt. Had 2 sacks in this game. I thought he played really well against the Cardinals. I think he's starting to really get into a nice rhythm. And of course, he had a forced fumble. So thought Michael Hoyt played extremely well, and he definitely deserves some credit. I thought Kobe Durant was good today, and he definitely deserves some credit. And I thought Aaron Donald was really good today, and those would be your winners. Your losers, however, there's quite a few. Brett Maher, we'll start there. Look, this game ended up being 24-17. So 2 missed field goals. If you do the math, okay, say you do that, they lose 24-23 if he hits those. But it also changes the game. It changes the way you go about your play calling. It changes a lot of things, to be fair. So I would say Maher missing those field goals really hurts. He missed an extra point, by the way, which actually is a 7-point swing. So yeah, he's the biggest loser of them all right now on this team is Maher. He might not even have a job come Monday. We'll see. I thought a loser in this one was Stafford. I don't think Matthew Stafford played extremely well. I think he had some moments where he made some good plays, but there's really not a lot of excuses. Yes, the drops, I get it with Cooper Kupp, but there weren't a lot of excuses for why, he's missing guys down the field. He's not, dumping it off to Henderson and Royce Freeman in the passing game. It's just, there's too much there. 14 of 29. You're not going to win many games when your quarterback's doing that. A touchdown, interception, 2 sacks. I thought the pass protection was pretty good at the end of the day. At least I thought so. I thought the pass protection definitely gave him an opportunity to make plays. And I don't think Stafford was great in this game. And I think that's definitely fair to say. The interception was really the thing that gave the Steelers life. Otherwise, this could have been a beatdown if the Rams carried that momentum in the second half. Cooper Kupp, loser in this one. 2 catches, 29 yards on 7 targets, with 2 drops. I don't really know what happened with Kupp today. Definitely don't know what happened with him, but he was not, his best when his best was required. And you can't give anybody a pass because if he doesn't play his best, and you have Nakua, sometimes that's not enough to win a football game like it was tonight. So really upsetting there for sure. On the defensive end, it's got to be, at least in my opinion, I've given this guy a lot of praise this past week. And I got to be a little bit out there with him. Darion Kendrick had a huge miss. It was a 3rd and 8 zone defense. I think it was match zone. And he tries to undercut the route. And it absolutely goes for like 30 yards. So, something like that. It's just brutal, So I think really right now, the Rams win the time possession battle, total yards, passing yards, rushing yards, first downs, fewer penalties. Really, it's a darn shame that they lost this game. But you guys know I have to say it. If you've been following, I've been calling out the officiating, regardless if it led to a Rams win or a loss. The Rams have to win this game, no doubt about it. It is on them. But that call on Ahkello Witherspoon was horrendous. Was absolutely horrendous. And so I just think there has to be something said about Craig Rolstad, because I'll tell you right now, Craig Rolstad last year, week 18 against Seattle, the Rams should have won that game. They should have won the game. They absolutely should have won that. And Rolstad had a couple, including the, what was it? The one on Jalen Ramsey last year. And then once again, late in the game, Rolstad throws a penalty flag on a really nice play by Akella Witherspoon, and they call it. And Deontay Johnson, I know he hits him with the, he hit him with the taunting penalty, which is, of course, but anyway, my point is he has got to be better. The NFL has to be better, and he's a loser in this one. That officiating crew was terrible. I think that's the worst in the game. I think Craig Rolstad is the worst official in the game, because I do think they got the spot wrong. I think that call on Akella was wrong. There were a few calls that were bad, but I thought you can't throw that penalty. I don't even think Akella touched him. So I don't know how you throw that. He barely touched him, if anything. So yeah, the thing that's really frustrating, I think, is just that, you're seeing the potential. You're seeing it's there. You hear in the broadcast, Tomlin's talking about this being the best rhythm passing team and so forth. But at the end of the day, this team is not putting up the points that they need to put up. They're averaging 23 a game. That's not bad. It's not great. It's not bad. But with Matthew Stafford, with Cooper Kupp, with now Puka Nacua, who you probably didn't even really factor in coming into the season, Tutu Atwell with the emergence of him. And, I understand Kyron was out, but this running back room was not the issue. The running backs were the best part of this game. You guys in the comment section, tell me I'm wrong in that. Watching the guys run the ball today, Freeman and Henderson, that wasn't the best part of the game. I mean, obviously Puka Nacua had his moments for sure, including the craziest catch, but the best moments, the most consistent moments of this football game were the two running backs. That's it. They were the two running backs. So that's what I'll say there. I don't think Akella had a bad game. I think there were times where Pickens may have gotten the best of him. I'll have to look at the all 22, but he didn't have any misses like Kendrick did. Kendrick had a really bad miss, and I have to, of course, be upfront with you guys because I defend Kendrick. But I'm going to be honest with you. He can't play the underneath. He's trying to undercut the route, but in that sense, it's 3rd and 8. If you make that tackle there, you're good. They're punting the ball. Instead, he whiffs. And so what that does is it means you're not even going to be able to make the tackle because you're trying to undercut the route. So it allows the receiver to go deep down the field after the catch and make a big play. But look, I understand a lot of people are going to have an issue with the officiating, and I've already said I do, but credit the Steelers as well, because again, they had to hang around and they did just enough. And this is football. Whether you like it or not, the Rams have won games like this before on the Steelers side. You have to play a full 60 minutes. It's a tale of two halves. And I thought the Rams responded really well in the second half with that touchdown to get to 17-10. Puka was cooking. Puka was cooking on that drive, and then you had Darrell Henderson with the touchdown run. But there is no excuse to not have scored moving forward after that. I think that they left way too much on the field. I think they continue to do that. And I think Sean McVay's play calling has to be better. There are times where I'm marveled by it, and when he's in his element, he's really good. But there are also times where I think he gets panicky, and we saw that towards the end of the game where it's really bizarre because you're looking at it from the standpoint of, okay, we're going to run with Royce Freeman. We're going to pick up this first down. And then you get out of that rhythm. There's about 7 minutes left in the game, and you're running the ball and you're just running your offense. You're not in the 2-minute warning. You're not in the 2-minute offense. You're not panicking. None of that. You're just running your offense. And then for whatever reason, Sean McVay deviates away from that. And I don't know why, but they get really pass happy and they want to go deep down the field, and they talk about it in pressers with all these different structures they have. And I don't know why. So, unfortunately, this is the way it went. This is how it went. The Rams fall victim at home. So they finished their home stand 1-2. They lost to the Eagles. They lost to the Steelers. They beat the Cardinals. So, at this point, it's really frustrating. 3-4. We'll see how they respond. Cowboys, Packers, I believe, by Seattle, Arizona. But that's going to be that. I mean, I think, right now the Rams are kind of in no man's land. But to be fair, there are a lot of teams that have no idea where they are. And I've never seen, at least in my opinion, I've never seen a league that is so well balanced right now. There are so many teams that are just masquerading as contenders that aren't. And obviously, as the season goes on, we'll find out. But I think this is a huge missed opportunity for the Rams, because you look at that NFC, there are a lot of teams that we think, could have been better, maybe coming in the year. You had a chance to go 4-3 here. Pittsburgh comes off a bye. I get it. But, and Tomlin, I think, was 12-4 coming off the bye. He moves to 13-4. But yeah, no one is going to feel sorry for you in this league. And that's the beauty about it. It's a game of inches, and we saw that today. Quite literally, we saw that today. The spot was terrible. I understand. I'm reading the comment section. Totally understand it. But, the Rams have to bounce back, and they're going to have to move on. And the presser might not be fun to watch after this one, because I think it's going to be very obvious. McVay's not happy about it. Again, I think the officiating was bad, but I think the Rams shot themselves in the foot more often than they needed to, and that they could. And again, I just don't think Stafford played that well. And I think that the defense was penalized for the fact that, look, the offense wasn't punching in touchdowns, and they were missing field goals, in special teams. So that's the way it is. But unfortunately, no idea what's going to happen with the kicker. No idea what's going to happen moving forward. I thought there were some good things in this game. There were some bad things. There were some ugly things. Rams got a lot to clean up in week 7, unfortunately. Team coming off a bye, looked rejuvenated in the second half, but the Rams, make no mistake about it, shot themselves in the foot and allowed the Steeler faithful that invaded SoFi Stadium, from how it sounded, at least in my living room. They invaded SoFi Stadium and made it really hard to play. So that's that. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you like this, if you like me, if you don't like me, I guess, but if you do like me, you can find me on socials at JKBogan. You could also follow right here on the Bleacher Report app if you're watching. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next one. But until next time, take care. Later, folks.